Hello there, hope you were able to enjoy the first day of 2024. Those of us towards the north and east have actually had some fairly dry, fine conditions, some sunny spells for eastern Scotland, stretching down into eastern England as well. But further towards the west and the south, this radar sequence showing we've already had outbreaks of rain spreading their way in, and that rain is going to continue to move its way northwards as we head throughout the rest of this evening and overnight. Some localised disruption is possible as all of this pushes its way through. Once it reaches Scotland, it's pushing into fairly cold air ahead of it, so it's going to be falling as snow over the higher ground routes of the Grampians and the Highlands. Some very strong winds across parts of Orkney and Shetland as well. It's going to be pretty chilly across parts of northern Scotland in particular. Some frost, perhaps down as low as -6, -8 degrees Celsius in some very sheltered rural glens. But further towards the south, we have southwesterly winds pushing their way in, and that's going to build in some slightly milder conditions. So for much of England and Wales, temperatures actually around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius as we start off Tuesday morning. As we move into the day, that first band of rain is going to continue to push its way northwards, but we've got another set of fronts that are pushing their way in again from the southwest. There's still some uncertainty in regard to the exact positioning of that area of low pressure. It could be slightly further to the north, slightly further to the south, so it is worth keeping up to date with the forecast over the course of Tuesday to see how things do develop. But at the moment, it is looking like it's going to be turning into quite a wet and damp day for the vast majority of England and Wales, with further outbreaks of rain spreading their way in. Again, some localised flooding is possible considering all the wet weather we have had recently. Add on this rainfall and some issues could result for transport. It might push its way into the far southeast of Northern Ireland and eventually moving into the far south of Scotland as well. Quite persistent rain for northeastern areas of Shetland, but for anyone for Fife around Angus, eventually into Aberdeenshire as well, there will be some drier intervals for the afternoon here since it is a bank holiday for Scotland. Temperatures generally ranging between 7 and 13 degrees Celsius, but there is continuing to be some very strong winds around, particularly for the northeast again, but also for the far south of England and Wales as well. So where you're exposed to that, it is certainly going to take the edge off things, and it will be feeling that bit chillier. As we head into Tuesday evening, those strong winds will help push all that rain out towards the North Sea. So some drier intervals eventually developing here, but those winds are also going to start feeding in showers from the Atlantic. The rain will be more persistent across parts of Orkney and Shetland, and underneath all the cloud here, it will just be a tad milder for areas of Scotland as we head towards Wednesday morning. Elsewhere, there'll be a few more clearer spells overnight for Northern Ireland, Wales, England, so temperatures may just be down by a few degrees compared to the night before, but still not exceptionally chilly, and certainly will still be frost-free for the vast majority of us. Wednesday then turns into a day of scattered showers streaming their way in from the west. They'll be most frequent for those western counties, heavy at times as well. Generally further to the east you've got the greater chance of seeing some drier intervals in there, maybe a few sunny spells around at times. It's going to be the top and tail of the country once again where those winds are strongest, perhaps some coastal gales around as well. Through the central slice, the winds will just be that bit lighter. Temperatures perhaps again down by a degree or so for many of us, ranging between 8 and 12 degrees Celsius as our highs. That is still just slightly above where we would normally expect to be for this time of the year, but things are looking to turn colder as we head towards the second half of the week, and particularly towards next weekend. These areas of low pressure that have been moving their way around and bringing the mild air look like they're going to eventually drift their way off to the east, and that means we open up the doors to more of a northeasterly flow of air from Scandinavia, allowing that colder Arctic air to eventually move its way in. So return perhaps of something a bit more widely chilly with some overnight frost for many of us as we head later on in the week, but we'll provide many updates on that. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube for all of that, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.